We are back doing brakes again, except it's a little bit hot and humid today, so we're going to have a little bit more fun. 03 Pilot with a couple miles on it, so we're going to do front and rear brakes, and of course we got POWERSTOP, because they're awesome. So
POWERSTOP.
POWERSTOP.
POWERSTOP. Whoops, let me try that again. POWERSTOP.
We're going to start with the front, so.
Yeah, we're going to dive into the front. Record a video too while we're doing it. Actually, 2 videos, so.
Yeah.
But you'll just see the front brakes, and then you'll see the back one doing a separate video. But let's get started, huh? Let's do this.
And feel free to tell us if we're screwing up before we do something major.
Yeah, the one guy. One guy had. Thank you. Pretty solid advice for doing this.
So,
Something we never actually did before on our rear brakes to get the.
so many of you are probably wondering, what on earth? How are the wheels up? So, Quick Jack sent us a set of 7000 TL Quick Jacks. Thank you, Quick Jack, Benpack, and everybody in between for that. These things are a lifesaver. Look how high that is. And if you look underneath the car, look how much room you got. I mean, you can do drivetrain, exhaust, brakes, rotate tires, everything. So really handy. I mean, this is a pretty decent sized vehicle. It's a Pilot, so you can see we still have plenty of room above in the ceiling, like 3 feet maybe. So
This Pilot's a little bit bigger than what we normally work on. So
yeah, so we're gonna start by taking off the front wheel.
and we're gonna record.
Oh yeah, we gotta do like an intro or something.
This. You recording with your phone? You get a new case? Cool.
Front. Video. All right.
Oh boy, what's on bearings? For DIY, it's okay. Plenty of torque. So let's start here. So you got a POWERSTOP all laid out. You got our 2003 Honda Pilot, and then we'll do the same thing.
Quick Jack.
Quick Jack. Okay. So why don't we start back here. Try not to get the license plate so it doesn't matter anymore. We got our POWERSTOP, we got our 03 Pilot, and then you can pan down and say we have our 7000 TL Quick Jack. Awesome unit if you've not seen it. Check it out on Fresh Finish Garage. We're going to swap our front brakes out for some POWERSTOP drilled and slotted. Let's get started right now. Alright. Oh, and let's check. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Today on Fresh Vintage we have POWERSTOP drilled and slotted rotor upgrades. We got our 2003 Honda Pilot. We got it sitting on our 7000 TL Quick Jack. If you haven't seen that, check it out on our other channel, Fresh Vintage Garage. We got all our tools laid out. We're going to show you what to do every step of the way. Let's get started right now. I already ripped the glove. Okay. I'll say something not to buy when working on the car. Apparently Kroger latex gloves.
Shocking.
I know. Shocking. They're not my
Clean
fault.
the wind real quick. It's not dirty, but. Oh.
So some of the tools that you won't need are Kroger latex gloves, because I've had this on my hand for like 10 seconds and I've already ripped it. But, so we have ourselves an Aoben, really nice little unit if you're looking for a low cost DIYer. We'll leave a link for this in the video description, but 19mm Chicago pneumatic, and we'll pop this tire out. Thing's kind of cool because you see it auto stops, and then watch the socket here. It'll stop. It won't just spin. So your lug nut goes flying across the garage. Kind of cool to see. Work on getting the other ones off here. There we go. Now, these rotors and brakes have probably been on this thing, I don't know, 40,000 miles. So be curious to see what they look like. They're okay. They're not great. They're not terrible. And I guess the great to terrible sliding scale is how much money you have to spend on brakes at that point in your life. Let's take a look here. Yeah, they're okay. They need replaced though. They're at the end of their life. They got a pretty good ridge in the back there. But we're going to get the actual impact screwdriver here in a little bit and break these free. And then from there, we want to start by getting our caliper off. And I believe these are 12mm. Let me go grab 12mm.
Those look glazed.
Oh yeah, they're junk.
Need to get the impact socket and little sockets. Are they, yeah, the regular sockets.
Mm-hmm. Kind of forgot about the live stream. Hope you guys are doing well. For the people watching.
Yeah, the tools make the man.
Hope everyone's doing well on this awesome Saturday.
So when I said glazed,
Yeah, these
are
trashed.
you can see how they, I mean, you can see it. I can't really describe it, but you can see it. That's glazed. These things are junk.
Oh, there's our parts in here. Our magnetic parts tray.
Get you one of them. Should we video this?
Yeah. Grab the S's and thing's gonna need struts too.
We'll bounce it after we get on the ground. See what it feels like.
Where did the S's go? Here. Oh, there they are. Mm-hmm.
So we're in Virginia. This is like the first really hot day. So
we'll be on track for like 99 degrees by Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
So I should probably record this. So for everyone in the live stream, I'm going to do the wrong thing and use this hammer because we didn't bring a screwdriver out. So I'm just going to say, if you don't have a screwdriver, you could probably use a hammer to slowly pry this off of here.
All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
So on this episode of We Don't Have the Right Tool because we didn't walk downstairs and get a screwdriver, I'm going to use the claws on the hammer here just to gently pry this off. And you probably could just do this with your hands, but just take your time. That should fall off of there in the sense that you don't want it to literally fall and rip your brake line. So We actually have these little hooks. These are perfect if you do any amount of brake jobs, both DIY or shop. We're just going to pull this off of here, and we'll just put it right through the caliper here, like that, and then we'll just hook it up here. And so now that's pretty much 100% out of the way. And I was just looking at the actual caliper, the actual lip here. Looks good, doesn't look cracked. I don't see anything wet, so nice quick inspection there. Front brakes, I mean, that's not terrible. They could be better. This one's definitely more worn, so it's time to replace these. And that one's actually wearing, you can see it's wearing a little crooked, but yeah, we'll work on getting the bracket off next. I think that's a 17 millimeter, but we're gonna find out.
You didn't talk about taking those bolts out.
Oh. Whoops. Okay.
Let's do a quick snippet on that.
All right. We forgot a step, everybody. So 12 millimeter bolts. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
So I was a little excited to get this done before it gets to be 10,000 degrees today on this hot summer day. I took the 12 millimeter caliper bolts out. So we got a 12 millimeter socket and a ratchet. Just pop those out, and then the caliper slides right off. All right, let's get that bracket off of there, huh? I think it's 17. Where's everybody from on the live stream?
I see, is that New Zealand?
New Zealand, that's
Cap
awesome.
off inside the engine bay.
16 millimeters. 17
Yeah, we're definitely going to clean the slide pins because if it's wearing unevenly like that.
That one's moving. Actually, yeah, we're going to grease them up.
115.
So a little backstory. About 2 weeks ago, I slapped the cheapest.
big screwdriver.
Okay. Do you have a 17 millimeter half-inch drive?
Should do. You
Okay.
need a breaker bar?
Yeah, just to get those. That's probably gonna be the one thing that I need.
How's your brake?
It's we may have to suction a little bit out of there. We're just looking at the
Say 17.
17. Yeah, thank you. It's not super full. Let me zoom in and show you, but it's kind of full. So we're gonna push all 4 pistons into the calipers back in. So probably want to suction some of that out, so we don't have a nice little engine fire. That's not what you want on a Saturday morning. Oh man. So somebody said they're from New Zealand. Never used a claw hammer on anything automotive. Yeah, you're right. Do as we say, not as we actually do in the video. So, but I just had a shop do work to this thing. Put that sway bar link on, and it's kind of crazy. I was surprised to hear them say while Jay's grabbing tools, they actually said that they broke. You can't really see it that well, but there's an intermediary. You can't see it. Sorry. There's an intermediary shaft on this Pilot that goes from the passenger half shaft to the transaxle, and they said they broke that intermediary shaft. And they were pulling it out and replacing it. Thank you. Thank you, sir. We got ourselves a 17 millimeter. There we go. 3/8 strap.
Oh, I grabbed the wrong
That's fine. I can grab it.
breaker.
It's all good. Did you
Okay.
lock the door?
No.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
So this is a Pilot, 03 Pilot. A little bit bigger than a CRV. So we loosened the cap, so thank you for that. That will make it easier. And G-Spot, where are you from? Hey to Ray. New pads and rotors, yeah. Yeah, not a lot of people hit like for some reason, so go ahead and hit like. We're really trying to grow our channels. Check us out. We've got three YouTube channels. This, what you're watching, of course, is on YouTube Shorts. The video we're making is going to be on Fresh Vintage. Of course, you're watching this on Fresh Vintage Shorts. And if you, we have another channel called Fresh Vintage Garage, where we do reviews on scan tools, shop equipment like this quick jack. If you've never seen this in action, check out our video we did on Fresh Vintage Garage. It's really handy, really nice. Yeah, if you can hit like, you know, subscribe. We've been doing this just shy of 3 years, so it's really hard getting subscribers. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. Check us out there. We're slowly growing on those. And
Wow, it's getting hot.
yeah, we got somebody from the UK.
Hey, what's up, man? Great to have you. I went and got the screwdriver for the person that said don't ever use anything, claw hammer for anything automotive. They are right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I didn't get what I needed to get.
Half inch?
Well, I was like, well, I'll just get a 3/8 breaker bar, but I didn't get the 3/8 breaker bar. Alright, let me go grab my bed. Stall 4 times, sorry.
I thought you were getting a half inch breaker.
Where are the half-inch sockets?
I just brought them up.
You brought half-inch sockets up?
Yeah. Aren't these it? Or are these 3/8? Oh, my bad. They're 3/8.
Those are 3/8. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind, folks. It's my first day.
It's always our first day when we're making a video. There's always something.
Here, put this socket in.
The 17 is downstairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll put it in here.
So one of our issues is that all of my tools are downstairs in the utility room because we're working at a carport, so you can't really store tools in here. So we're not going to use a C-clamp. We got a special tool, so no, we're not cutting catalytic converters. Come on. Yeah, this is a 03 Honda Pilot all-wheel drive SUV. It's got a lot of, like, 250,000 miles or something crazy on it. I don't know how many kilometers that is, but it's a lot. So hopefully he'll find the tool soon. I don't know why. It's really nice out today. It's hot and humid though. Let me show you the sky. Not a cloud in the sky.
I'm just now realizing I brought the impact sockets up here. So we already have 17 millimeter. There we go. Alright. Oops, sorry. That's what we were after. 17 millimeter, half-inch drive. check. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
So to get the caliper bracket off, we have a 17 millimeter, and this is specifically a 1/2-inch drive breaker bar. I just want to have a little bit more torque to break this actual bolt free. Let's put this on here. Actually flip this around. Yep. Definitely require a little bit more. Wow. Okay. That's a pretty good amount of torque. Needs. Put that. Like that. It's in the way. All right. Time out. We'll be right back. Actually needs a fair bit of torque. Okay. Let me try that. See if I can break this free. Doing this. Wow. Okay. There you go.
The Aoben won't budge that, right?
I guess we could try, yeah. Okay, so in the name of working harder, or working smarter, I was just working harder, not smarter, so we're going to try working smarter. So we're going to do a little impact action here.
3, 2, 1.
So in the interest of working smarter, not harder, I'm going to give the Aoben a try here. There's that one, and let's see what happens with this guy. There we go. That makes life a lot easier. Another reason to have one of these, even if it's just a cheapy one for DIY use at home. So 17 millimeters are out, and there is our caliper bracket. Now we are going to look at each one of these because those brake pads should not be wearing crooked. But we're going to pull those out and evaluate them. I actually bought new ones. I don't know if we'll need them, but we'll take a look. Next step, I'm going to get the actual impact screwdriver and bust these screws out of here. And boom, just like that, it's right there. Now you want to find the bit that fits the tightest in here. And one of these looks like someone's been screwing around with it, which I'm not happy to see because that makes doing this sometimes turn into a real chore because if the head starts screwing up or like deforming, or they're literally just hand tight. So we did not stage that at all, we promise. Wow. I have to think, last time I put brakes on this thing was 2017 or something like that. 2018. It's been a while, so if that was me, then I should have gotten them tighter. Maybe that was me that left them that loose. But anyway, they're loose and they're out. So the rotor's coming off right now. Maybe. That is holding nice. There we go. So yeah, they're not great. Don't fool yourself. These things need replaced. I mean, you can keep driving around on them, but those things are pretty well done. So let's get the POWERSTOP rotor and we'll put it on right now.
I forgot to get the lubricant.
What's that?
Let me get the lubricant.
Oh, okay. Everybody watching on the live stream, we appreciate you watching. It is, it's getting hot quick. It probably doesn't help that we started on the sun side because we're under a carport, but I'm glad we're doing this now versus say in an hour and a half because it's supposed to be a high of 91 degrees Fahrenheit today, so. I don't know exactly what the conversion is for all our friends watching from the UK, New Zealand, Celsius, but it's hot here. It's real hot here. Yeah, I started reefing on that. I see what you said there, NZ uncovered. I started reefing on that, and I was like, oh man, I don't need to be hobbling around the next day. So I was trying to do those with the breaker bar. All right, we have
everything.
what's that?
Put that on everything.
It's like Frank's Red Hot. We put that on everything.
So I went and got some anti-seize. So these come in handy, especially for the next time you do this job.
Yeah, buddy.
Somebody's making fun of your shorts.
My actual shorts? Oh yeah, these are garbage, man. Live stream only right here. These are garbage. You can actually see like they're really faded, and that's why I'm wearing them now. It's a shame because these are like wet, dry shorts, and I got them at Walmart for like $10. They're actually really nice, but they have literally faded. Like they're like a taupe brown, and then they faded to gray or whatever. So
they're definitely brake changing shorts.
yeah, they're the car repair shorts now.
Let's see.
Most of my clothing is somewhere between I wear this out to dinner, complete garbage, and I don't wear it anywhere in public. So, and it depends on how many times I've worked on a car. Or if I spilled something on it, it automatically goes down a level. So our threads look good. Do we have any... set that up there for a second.
If you want, put one of the lug nuts on to keep it flush.
Where? Yeah, that's a good idea. Where's the paper towels or the...
I brought them out.
Okay, there. I gotta wipe the back of this thing off first. Yes. Oh, it's getting hot. I probably should have brought a hat. I thought about bringing a hat, but we're under a carport. I didn't think about the sun part here, so on this side of the carport. There you go. Maybe we can get some merch. Get Tom's faded shorts for sale on Fresh Finish. All right, so let me just do a quick wipe on the back here. We could do a real quick new POWERSTOP brakes, and I'll say they're marked front driver's side. Let me actually rotate that. There we go. Okay. Actually, wait a minute. Stop. Time out. Where are the holes? Let's see here. Right. Actually, it's gotta go. Yep, like that. Okay. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
So here's our new POWERSTOP rotor, drilled and slotted, really solid. If you're thinking about getting your hands on a set of these, I would say go ahead and do it, because we put these on everything from CRVs to Foresters and everything in between. So really solid, consistent, clean stopping power here for you. You want to make sure that your holes for the screws are actually in the right spot. And then also, we just took some brake clean off camera, and we just wiped these down. So I'm just going to slide these on here. And just as one other thing we want to do, we normally just put a actual lug nut on, just to keep these as true to close to perpendicular as possible when you're putting this back together, so that the caliper and all the other stuff isn't fighting you along the way. But let's get our screws in here. That. And there's our screwdriver, thank you. Maybe. Alright, let me back this off. We're going to adjust these. There we go. Probably need a little bit of an adjustment off camera here. Yeah. Let's fix this off camera, and we'll show you how we fixed it here once we're done. I think those are the wrong screw holes. Yeah, those are the wrong screw holes. Let me go. Let me get rid of the key out right back. Oh, man.
All right, he's going to drop off the key real quick. So, where's everybody from? We're in Virginia, and it's just started summer, so it's starting to get hot. Low 90s today. Coming up this week, it's supposed to be like 99 or something. So that's gonna suck. So hit the like button, subscribe. We're gonna put anti-seize on the lug nuts and some of the other stuff. So, but keep that rotor face clean. Here we go. I see some likes coming through. Yeah, I'm sure you're hot since like April, so you're in Florida. Yeah, I'm not jealous of the heat. I can handle heat. Humidity is what really wipes me out. So we usually go to Vegas for SEMA. End of October, early November. We got somebody here from Florida. He said it's already hot. So yeah.
Oh, I can imagine down there. Well, for everyone in the live stream, what I was doing wrong was there's two different sets of holes. You have your lug nut, lug stud holes. Then you have holes there, and these are actually, chamfered. Is that chamfered or tapered? I can't remember. But those are the ones you actually need to put there so that your screws thread in properly, and that's what I did wrong. But
thanks, Ben. If you can subscribe too, that'd be great.
yeah, please subscribe.
We're almost at 3 years.
It'll be 3 years next week.
We got 3 YouTube channels: Fresh Vintage Shorts, which you're watching this on, Fresh Vintage Garage, Scan Tools, shop equipment like the Quick Jack, etc., etc.
Check out Scantool Depot too. So we sell shop equipment, scan tools, TPMS stuff, electrical stuff, battery testers and chargers. We ship into the U.S. only. Sorry guys, outside the U.S., but definitely check it out.
All right.
I'm not putting any, what do you call it, thread.
Loctite.
Yeah, I'm not putting anything on there. So.
Don't have blue on there.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, so here's what I was doing incorrectly. There's actually 2 different sets of holes here. These are threaded, these are not threaded. These are actually tapered a little bit so that the screw will fit in there properly. And that's what I had wrong. So I had to rotate these one set of holes there. And now, once I put this lug nut on, these screws should go in here with no issue. So I'm just going to tighten this down. Nudge just finger tight. And we'll make a note, we do not have any Loctite, so I'm going to put these in. If you want to get some blue Loctite, would probably be a good idea. But for what we're doing here, I'm just going to screw these in, tighten them down, and then we'll work on compressing the piston in the caliper next. Alright. Tight enough on this episode of That's Tight Enough. There you go. So we should probably look at
The slides.
Oh man, that's killing me. It seems to be okay.
I'd pop some POWERSTOP grease in there. Oops.
There we go.
So we're installing POWERSTOP brakes, drilled and slotted, and ceramic, carbon fiber ceramic pads. That's a mouthful, but
yeah, they're ceramic with carbon fiber pieces infused.
yeah,
So
these things are awesome.
they're very, very solid brakes. They're made in China, I'm assuming, but the machining and tooling is very, very good.
Yeah, Willwood's a very good brand. But, I mean, honestly, POWERSTOP for the money, I've put them on so many cars, and they're just flawless.
Yeah, they're very good.
I mean, I can't say enough good things about POWERSTOP. For the money, heck, it's about the same price as if you go get a house brand at like Advance or AutoZone or whatever, a full set. And I don't know,
That's a good call out for what you're spending at a big box store, any big retailer in the U.S. You're getting better quality here as far as drilled and slotted, better performance, and the pricing. I mean, these were even without the discount in the conversation. These are as the same price or cheaper than just getting non-drilled and slotted rotors. So you're getting all that machining for free.
yeah. And these things, I started using these. I had a 02 Mustang, and I put a set on those years ago, and I mean, they were flawless.
There you go.
No brake dust. They never warp. I mean,
Yeah, you'd have to really try,
yeah.
really try to warp these things. Maybe if you were towing something and you were hammering them as you were going down a really big hill or something, but you'd really have to try hard to warp these brakes.
So he's lubing the caliper slides with the free POWERSTOP lube.
Should probably get a video clip of that.
So POWERSTOP, these are for stock vehicles. They do have for big horsepower upgrades too. So
Yeah, this is actually like their base drilled and slotted package. They actually have like a sport, like an extreme, and then a sport. These are like the base performance,
yeah,
but
so
they're still really, really good.
if you have big horsepower, you racing a lot, you can step it up. I mean, it's not a big thing. So all right, 3, 2, 1.
So before I get ahead of myself and put the caliper back on, obviously we want to get the bracket back on. And looking at this, these sliders were moving. Like, let me show you here. These sliders were moving, but I just popped that one off and put some actual POWERSTOP. It's like silicone lubricant, and I just put a little bit more in this one. And then these, they just pop out. These boosts are all clean and good, so we're not going to replace them, but you literally just have to squeeze them in, and it'll take a little bit of work. I had to fight with that other one to get it to come off of there, but just pop it right back in. just like that. And make sure it's properly seated. And then just move it back and forth to get that grease spread around. But we're ready to put this back on the car. I do not know what the torque spec is for this.
Caliper brake.
Huh. Oh, let's get out of that.
There's the caliper bracket.
Yeah.
Per bracket. 80.
80 foot-pounds? Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Which should have had Icon send us a smaller torque wrench.
That one's going a little hard. Interesting. Appreciate everybody watching. Please like and subscribe. If you haven't checked out Fresh Vintage, please check out Fresh Vintage. Went to Mecum Auctions, went to SEMA a couple times. We're going to SEMA again this year. Barrett Jackson. Amazing, it's been 3 years already.
So somebody's asking about the jack. That's a, so I'll show you on this side. That's a quick jack, 7000 TL. They've actually stopped making that. They're making the 8000 TL. So, see the quick jack. So Benpack sponsors us. They sent us a quick jack. Thank you, Benpack Quick Jack, for sending those. You can see how much room we have under the car. Plenty of room. You can do brake, exhaust work, suspension, brakes, obviously. Rotate your tires real easy, all that fun stuff. So it is quite handy. We've used this, what, 5-6 times already?
Yeah.
So we're doing this year is brake job year, I guess.
Cars are needed. I'd say if you want to start a YouTube channel, all joking aside, and you have an old beater car, you have all the content you need to start your own channel.
I daily a 98 Accord, and we've done so many just little random videos, how to replace a window, a window motor, how to replace a switch, how to put in a double din radio, etc., etc.
Yeah, that double din radio's got like what, 30,000+ views now or something.
Yeah.
So.
And then
more gloves.
And my brother bought a was it a Fusion?
Yeah, it's Ford Fusion.
Yeah, so it needed a handful of work. We did a bunch of random videos on that, and those are doing well. So our plan is to find a good beater car and fix it up and sell it. So hopefully get our money back out of it, but we can do a bunch of videos on it. I'm going to go ahead and say we're not going to buy a beater this summer because it's going to be hot as you know what. That's more of a fall, spring project. Alright.
Yep.
Let me get this ready. I think that's where we left off with the screws, right?
Yeah, that was going to show.
Oh, the sliders.
The sliders, yeah. Tight, okay.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Whoops, operator error here, there we go. 3, 2, 1. So big shout out to Harbor Freight for sending us over this Icon Impact. Wow, Impact. Yeah, this Impact device.
Cut.
Look at this Impact device, everybody. Yeah. Can't speak. Okay.
Torque a wrench. 3, 2, 1.
So a big shout out to Harbor Freight for sending us this Icon torque wrench here. Really solid unit. You can find it in their friendly neighborhood Harbor Freight store. Is really, really cool. It's a 1/2-inch drive, so we have our 17 millimeter on here. And it has a little slider, so you can slide and adjust the actual torque. We have it set to 80 foot-pounds because the caliper bracket bolts are 80 foot-pounds. And I already hit that bottom one, so let me just hit the top one here. Get it down to 80 foot-pounds. There's our click. And I'll just do the bottom one real quick here. There we go. There we go, 80 foot-pounds. So next up, we want to get our actual piston in this caliper pushed back in, because you have to deal with the width of the new brake pads and the brand new rotor. They're all, you know, as thick as you can possibly get. So we have to push this caliper piston back in. So we're going to grab our tool to do that and show you how to set this up.
All right. I forgot to loosen the cap.
Oh, that's okay. I can start the next scene with that. Oh, everyone on the YouTube live stream, we appreciate you watching. Appreciate everybody watching. Where did you guys get those stands from? What Sage? What stands are you talking about, buddy? You talking about? The quick jack. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let me show you the other side of the quick jack, because everybody looks at the jack itself, but not many people look at the pump. And you can put a couple different fluids in this. You can put, I can't remember the exact weight, hydraulic fluid, but we actually just, I think we got ATF3, just transmission fluid in these lines. And then in here you have your reservoir. And then this is running off of the wall outlet over there. But they even make, I believe, 220 versions, and they make 12 volt. You can run these off a car battery too. If you're out at the track, for example, or you're out in the sticks, say you're running like a off-road rally and you need to put the car up in the air quick, you can put this on a 12 volt battery, depending on which model you buy. Really, really cool unit. There you go, sir. Oh, did you?
Cap is loosened.
So we're loosening the cap. Hopefully it doesn't leak out, but did you already loosen it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So you want to keep the cap on. You don't want to take it fully off, because it's all the humidity will get in there.
Ooh, dang son, Jay got the good brake caliper tool. Look at that. No chintzy one there. I actually broke 2 of these in one video because it was a dual piston unit. I was trying to squeeze both pistons back in with that really thin unit, but this one's pretty beefy. So you get that off of Amazon, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Here's our brake pads.
Behind you, on the wall.
Oh, on the wall. Oh, they're there. Thank you.
Oh, the old ones.
Let's get this out here. So on the, what does that say? Can't read what that says. These are old. What's that?
Napa selects.
Napa. There you go. So you should probably start by saying make sure you loosen the cap.
You ready?
No, not yet. There we go. Okay. So, whenever you're ready.
3, 2, 1.
So real quick, before we show you the actual caliper, the piston getting pushed back in, make sure you put an eye on your actual brake fluid reservoir. And in our case, we actually loosened the cap so that it has room to push, because you're going to push this fluid back up into the brake fluid reservoir through the system. And keep that in mind, because we're going to do this 4 times on this car. We're placing all 4 brakes today. So make sure you keep a good eye on that, because it may actually come out. So you may have to stop what you're doing, get an actual like a suction device, and pull some of that out so it doesn't end up leaking all over the engine bay. But now that we've talked about that, looking at the actual caliper here, you can see we need to push this piston back in. So we have this tool here. This is a billet tool. We got it off Amazon. We'll leave the link for it in the video description. It's definitely beefy. It's not like the other one that I had that I ended up bending. I was trying to push in 2 pistons at the same time, and I ended up bending. I didn't bend it, sorry. I broke the actual handle, the plastic crack. But this one's definitely got plenty of chunk, and it's very, very solidly built. And that piston is sliding back in like a dream. This is also a great time to make sure you don't see any wet spots or areas around the rubber on that piston, because if you have any wet spots, that means a leak. And the last thing you want is to hit that brake pedal in a panic situation and have a leak just explode, and then all your brake pressure just goes away. So that piston is back in 100%. So we're gonna just pull this out of here, and you can see everything looks clean and dry. Well, dry anyway. If you see any wet areas in here, you want to stop, because you're probably going to have to replace this caliper. But this looks good. So we're going to grease up our actual metal pieces. I think I'm going to reuse these because the new ones, they never fit quite the same. So I'm just going to probably reuse these, grease them up, and then we're going to get the actual brake pads on here next. Kind of doing everything out of order, honestly.
I love America. What do you mean in directions said top of lines facing forward? And what's the wrong direction? What are you talking about? No, we're not replacing the starter. We're replacing brakes.
I don't know who said that in the comments, but this is a brake rotor, not a starter. On this episode of Fresh Vintage, we're not replacing the starter, because I've actually replaced the starter on this twice. And that video, I believe that video is live on YouTube, now that I'm thinking about it. Select ceramic, nice. Okay, so there's that. And we'll put these back on. Operator error, everybody.
Hit that like button.
If you don't like the video, we'll cry.
So while he's farting around there, we've got 3 other channels, or 3 channels, sorry, not other. Fresh Vintage Shorts, with which this live is on. Fresh Vintage, which we go to a bunch of big car shows and auctions, and this actual video we're making will be on there. Bunch of how-to stuff. Brakes, radios, fixed windows, CV axles, whatever random stuff happens to our cars, we fix it on.
Basically, we drive old cars, people. That's what we're saying.
So when do you decide to change a caliper? Usually you'll see if the brakes are wearing unevenly.
This is a possible good indicator right there. Whoever asked that question, look at how that one, you can see it's a little cockeyed. That one's cockeyed. They should not wear like that. They should wear evenly. So we lubricated the slides. That should help. I mean, that should help a lot. Yeah, that's probably the #1 issue.
Sometimes if you can't collapse the actual caliper itself, that, and if you see something leaking, a whole bunch of random stuff. And I believe in replacing stuff in pairs. If you're going to do one side caliper, you might as well do the other side. I know that seems a little excessive, but you know, I've seen people replace, like, they don't do a front brake job, they know the caliper's sticking, so they replace the one side caliper and put new brake pads on that side. Well, that doesn't work, because the other side's the old stuff, so it's not even. It's going to be a mess. So
I did that exact thing, what Jay just said. I have a 2000 Cherokee, and both calipers were hanging. I told myself it was fine, they weren't hanging, and then after the brakes literally started smoking, driving at home one day, I was like, all right, the calipers need replaced because the pistons wouldn't go back in, and so the brakes were constantly on, and the engine was fighting the braking system. All that to say, I replaced the driver's side, and then a week later I ended up replacing the passenger side, and I absolutely hate bleeding brakes. There's one thing I do not want to do in my life is bleed brakes, but I did it because I had to. So definitely Jay's right, replace the caliper. If you do the caliper on this side, do the caliper on that side. Just spend the money, or wait until you have the money to buy both and do them at the same time.
Yeah. Somebody's asking, can you buy stainless steel rotors? I don't think that's a thing.
Let me just turn the power on this thing.
Because I don't think they'd hold up.
You probably could. Someone, I'm sure someone makes them, but I can only imagine how much a chunk. Imagine taking a chunk of stainless steel and making a rotor out of it. Like what the price on that would be.
So if you're just doing a regular brake job and not changing the caliper, you do not need to bleed the calipers because it's a closed system, and you're not opening up any lines or anything. So there's no need to change the fluid. So let's get back to filming here. Good questions. I mean,
good questions. Yeah, these are good questions.
Y'all got to start somewhere. I mean, there was the first time we did brakes, so
that's why we make these videos, because too many YouTube videos are not great. They're like, hey, here's how you do brakes, and they show you absolutely nothing. And, you're
and
like,
the
why the hell
camera's
did you
like
make the video?
10 feet away.
Yeah.
So we try to describe everything and all that. So 3, 2, 1.
So here are our old brakes, and I wanted to call these out because this may seem like not that big of a deal until you're like, let's put the new brakes on, and you're like, wait a minute, how do the new brakes go on? The way to tell is you can see the circle from the piston on that side, and so this is your low brake warning. If you've ever heard someone hit the brakes and the brakes go, they squeak, that's this little piece of metal dragging on the rotor. The reason that's important is you want the new brake pad to match the old one and vice versa on both sides. So this is our new one, so we're going to put this one on the inside. I already put some actual grease, some anti-seize on the actual bracket here and on the brake pad itself. There we go. And I would fully expect that to happen. So let me just grab the other brake pad. You don't need to go crazy now with this stuff, because if you put too much on, you're going to end up getting it on the rotor. You're going to be smearing it all over the rotor as you hit the brake pedal. But so I'm going to put this on here, just like that. And we already pushed our caliper piston in, so I'm sure this will go in perfectly with no issues at all. Forgive my sarcasm. But ideally, you've pushed that piston in enough to where this should actually slide on here pretty easily. Just like that. Now remember, you moved your sliders here, so these may have to get pushed in. And also, if you look, like if you come over here, look close, there's spots on here where this round, you want to make sure that's properly lined up, because if you don't do that, your hole won't actually line up for the 12mm bolt to go back in. So I'm going to fiddle with all this and get the bolts back in, and then we're going to get the torque spec to torque these down. So I don't know if we've ever asked a question before in the comments during the live stream, but what do you guys drive? What's your daily driver? Tell us what you drive. It could be anything. My first car was an 83 Omni. My second car was an 83 AMC Eagle. So I'm no stranger to older cars. So what do you guys, what did you drive? What was your first car, Jay? Did you have a Mustang?
So my first car, and I still own it, it's a 65 GT Mustang.
That was your first car, yeah.
Yeah, bought it when I was 18, a senior in high school. So it's gone up in value a little bit.
This 401k.
Yeah, no. So we're working on an 03 Honda Pilot, all-wheel drive. Let's see, what other questions we got?
If you guys need a cheap, reliable car and you're in the U.S. and you can find, we bought this with 100, oops, as I get brake anti-seize all over the side there. We bought this with 100,000 miles on it, paid $7 grand for it. and it's got 277,000 miles on it now. And honestly, with seeing how trash these brand new cars are, you can spend 60 grand on a new car, and like some of the engineering is just awful.
Yeah.
So I just keep throwing parts on this thing, and we keep driving it because it's actually very, very durable. And if you're looking for a cheap, Jay has a 98 Accord, and that's been a really solid car.
Yeah, I've maintained it and got 160,000 miles on it. And I've told myself I'm going to drive the wheels off that thing because as long as you keep the timing belt changed every 100,000 and just keep everything up to date, oil change, it'll run. So now we got some questions. I had a mechanic change my driver's side. This is from Rob. CV axle and not the passenger side. He said that the passenger side was fine, but I would think you want to change both at the same time. That's a little different.
Yeah.
I mean, I really wouldn't. It's not necessary. I mean, if you got a little bit extra money, why not? Just get it over with, because if one side's worn out, the other's not too far behind. But, I mean...
Jay's making a good point, and I actually just did that exact scenario you spelled out there, Rob. I think you said we made a video on this. I replaced the passenger side half shaft like a year ago, and the boots ripped on it, and so I had the local shop, really good local shop. They replaced the driver's side and passenger side just like 3-4 weeks ago, and I shelled out probably about $1,000 for them to do all the work that they did to this thing. They did some other things, but I'm glad I did it because both of them, there's an inspection item in the U.S. here, and any good inspection shop was going to fail your car for that, so I might as well get it done. Plus, it's a safety thing. If your boot rips and you start losing grease in your half shaft actual joint, it's going to start clicking, and then at some point it's going to break after long enough.
Yeah. If you didn't know, when a boot breaks, it allows dirt and grit, sand, everything that's detrimental to a CV axle. So, and, you lose all your lubricant, all that stuff. So, so these are POWERSTOP rotors, cross-drilled,
This is
drilled and slotted, and ceramic slash, that's the old ones.
And you could keep using them, but it's
they're pretty glazed. They're pretty, they're shot. I mean, they pass inspection, but, if you can do it yourself, you might as well do it right.
Yeah.
POWERSTOP brake pads, ceramic, and a little bit of carbon fiber in them. And another thing, this 03 Pilot, we got it lifted on a quick jack lift. If you haven't seen that video, go to Fresh Vintage Garage and check it out. Those things are awesome. And thank you, Ben Pack and Quick Jack, for sending that. What's up, Edward? So the procedure for bleeding brakes is not difficult in older cars. I mean, you start one brake at a time, really, one caliper at a time. You just kind of loosen it. It's usually a two-man operation. You get somebody behind the brake pedal, hit the brake pedal a few times until the air goes out. Close the bleeder, do it again on each side. Now, newer cars, you need like a scan tool to bleed brakes. So
you need the electronic parking brake.
Well, that's for when you replace the brakes, not bleeding.
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Two different processes, but you don't really have a place to start. You just start on any side. So Sam's got a 12 Forester. I've got a 16 Forester.
Great cars.
Halo Adventures has a 12 Camry.
Nice. Those are excellent cars. Those forever.
The only time you bleed brakes in reality is when you replace calipers.
Yeah, you don't want to open that.
Or, brake lines. So, one or the other. Okay, yeah, you're right. You bleed from the furthest wheel out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my bad. I wasn't thinking.
Don't take our advice as real mechanics.
Yeah.
Do it at your own risk.
We're heavy shade tree mechanics.
We should explain what we did here in the video, and then get the wheel back on.
So is this a timing chain or belt on this?
This is a belt.
So
I've replaced this twice now, and I'm going to do it a third time at 300,000 miles.
Yeah, this has got a belt on it, but those every 120,000 miles, whatever. What's up, Robert? Quick jack. I'm just gonna say ballpark about 1,800, but they'll have sales. They'll probably have a good sale on July 4th. Go to quickjack.com. Yeah, bleeding brakes with a scan tool. You don't have to do that very often, but some you do. Yeah, if you replace, obviously, if you replace a master cylinder, you got to bleed it. Brake fluid does need to be changed because it sucks in humidity and you can't compress water. So
yeah, eventually your brake fluid absorbs water, which decreases your stopping power.
Yeah, we even have a little brake fluid tester. So
yeah, that's actually a really nice little unit.
All right, you ready?
I actually don't know the torque spec on these.
Oops. I guess I need to look up the torque spec, guys. You got me distracted, man.
Appreciate everybody watching. Look at my gloves. These are doing okay. These are from Kroger, our local grocery store.
So this is a caliper.
The actual caliper bolts, yeah.
Caliper bolt, yeah. Mm-hmm.
27. How much? 27?
27, just like the
That's
last
the
one.
same as the
Mustang.
Mustang. Yeah, okay.
So let's try to remember how many we did the Mustang last. Did the Forester before that.
Mm-hmm.
CRV. We're about to do an Outback rear.
Yep.
And Honda Accord front, but those will probably be a little bit later in the year. So, all right, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
So quick update, we fiddled with everything successfully, and we have our 12mm bolts back in. This is sliding now, it's basically floating, and you can see that moving. That's exactly what you want. That means everything is free, nothing's stuck. You also want to do this just to make sure nothing's stuck, everything's happy and moving freely. If something is stuck, take it back apart and figure out what went wrong. If the slider got stuck in the way, or maybe the piston's not in 100%, you didn't push it back in or whatever, but your ideal goal is to have it doing this because it's floating properly. When you press that brake pedal, this moves, and then when you let off the brake pedal, it should release so your brakes aren't dragging and getting like overcooked and hot as you're driving down the road. These are 27 foot-pounds on these 12mm bolts. We don't have a torque wrench that goes down to 27 foot-pounds, so I'm just going to tighten them down to the torque spec I've tightened up. But yeah, 27 foot-pounds if you have a torque wrench for them. We're going to go ahead and grab the wheel and throw that on next. And I'm just going to give them one more quick hit with the ratchet. We appreciate everybody watching, joining us on this Saturday, watching us sweat as we put brakes on. But it's only going to get hotter. They're saying by Tuesday, no joke, it's supposed to be like 99 degrees. It might actually be 100 degrees. We always seem to have a heat wave like this early July, right around summer solstice. Alright, that's tighten off before I snap the bolts. I make for a super bad day.
Yeah, lifts are generally about 1,800, but they do go on sale. Let me show you guys real quick. So that's under the car. See how much room you have. Now each side weighs 107 pounds, is it? So it's definitely a, if you have to carry them anywhere, it's a two-man operation. So unfortunately, we don't have access to a garage, or we could just hang them on the wall and just pop them out every time we need them. So
for context, this Pilot weighs 4,400 pounds, which you wouldn't think about that until you actually look up the weight. And this is a 7,000 pound unit, but we have a friend in town. He has a 5,000, a TL 5,000 or 5,000 TL, and we lifted it on his too. So these are ALI certified. I don't know if we've actually said that in the live stream yet. if you don't understand what ALI certification is, these are weight rated, like BenPack. There's people who make lifts and they throw a weight rating on them. It'll lift 10,000 pounds, but then there's companies like BenPack and others that actually go out and they get an ALI certification to make sure that this lift is structurally sound to lift 7,000 pounds. So being it's ALI certified, it's worth every penny.
I think to be ALI, it has to lift like
1.5, I think.
Is it 1.5?
Yeah.
So it'd have to lift 10.5. What do you need?
I was looking for the torque stick. Oh, you did grab it. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Before your outro, just talk briefly about Quick Jack and hey, these are ALI. Make sure you get a set. In case.
The outro of the video, the very end of the video, you mean?
After you're done putting the wheels on and stuff.
Okay, because so from here we're gonna do the other side and do that off camera, and then I'll mention that right as we do the actual ending of the video. Okay. All right, everybody, we got a torque stick. Only lets 80 foot-pounds from the impact to the actual socket. But honestly, this is a great DIY tool, but I'm not sure if it actually puts 80 foot-pounds. I hope it does, but we'll find out here. So, okay.
3, 2, 1.
So I have the wheel on and I have the lug nuts on. They went on real clean and smooth. This is a torque stick. It only allows 80 foot-pounds to the socket because this is probably putting out more than 80 foot-pounds. And you think about a scenario where you go to a shop and you're using like air compressor, like actual air-driven guns. These can put up 300-400 foot-pounds no problem. So we only want to put 80 foot-pounds on these because these are aluminum lug studs, believe it or not. But you just want to hit these in a star pattern. Because we have the torque wrench already here, literally right behind me, I'm just going to hit these for 80 foot-pounds and make sure we're exactly at 80 foot-pounds. And then we're going to jump to the other side. We won't show you the other side. It should be pretty much cut and dry. We'll show you any oddities that we encounter along the way, but we're going to come back to wrap up the video next. All right, 1 down, 4 to go. And this is why I wear gloves. Because touching all that stuff, and now all that crap's getting all over your tools. So, but I love a good set of gloves.
Bring everything over, I guess.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring you guys over to the passenger side. Yeah.
We got 1 out of 4, right? That's good enough. Welcome to the passenger side. We're in the shade, so. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I paid the shop to replace both of these half shafts. And I'm kind of thinking they didn't torque down, they didn't get those screws holding the rotors on super tight. We actually went out, I bought this off of Amazon. I think it was like 55, 60 bucks or whatever. But I mentioned that because we made a video on Fresh Vintage Garage, our like tool and scan tool and shop equipment channel, and we went out and bought 3/4 inch diameter, not the head but the bolt itself. So I special ordered 1 1/8 inch sockets and actual lag bolts that you'd build a deck with, and we put a whooping on these. I was like, I want to see if one of these things will shut off or catch on fire or something. And that they opened. I mean, it held its own. We didn't have, for example, like a Hercules impact, but we did have from Harbor Freight. But we did have a was it a Javin?
Yeah.
And then what was the third one? Oh, that East Volt. I found an East Volt. It was $35 on a lightning sale. I was like, I have to buy this. But really cool video, and those things did surprisingly well. I was impressed. I mean, if you need a quick, cheap lug nut swapper, you're not going to get 200-300 foot-pounds out of any of these. You're probably going to have to buy a Milwaukee if you want that kind of torque rating. But these things will hold their own for what we're doing here and just every day around the garage at your house. See who all is watching. Appreciate everybody watching. Let's just say I have been a mechanic for over a decade. Mechanics feel is for non-critical components. Someone said, what certifications? We are certified. Certified, do it, Jay. Certified fresh vintage mechanics. You don't even touch cars. All people are arguing. Okay. We'll let people argue while I take these off of here.
Yeah, we're going to follow up with the torque wrench on both sides. What's up, Logan? Welcome. Everybody like and go on our channels and subscribe if you don't mind. Fresh Vintage, which the video we're making will be listed on probably at this rate a few months. But and then Fresh Vintage Garage, where we're lifting this 03 Honda Pilot, where we go over this awesome quick jack. Thank you, Ben Pack and Quick Jack, for sending this. You guys are awesome. Fresh Vintage Shorts, which you're watching this live on. So let me show you the quick jack. Well, we got a few seconds here. So this is a 7000 TL. They've actually quit making the 7000. They have a 6 and 8 now. So each side weighs 107 pounds. So if you have to move these around, it's a two-man operation, to be quite honest. Unfortunately, we have to bring these up from downstairs. So it's I get the front, he gets the back, and we carry them up the stairs. But they're real handy, nice and safe. You can shake the piss out of this car and it's not going to move. We're a touch uneven, so it'll slowly wobble, but I mean, he's going to shake it, so.
Yeah, I ain't going to baby shake it either, because I ain't worried about it. This 25 impact quick jack, I mean, it's moving, and if I wanted to keep going, I'm sure we could knock it over, because you can do anything if you're determined, but yeah, I have no problem.
It's slightly uneven.
Yeah, the ground is a little uneven, so that makes a big difference.
I mean, if it was flat, it wouldn't hardly move at all, so. But yeah, whenever you put wheels and lug nuts on, make sure you torque them. Don't over torque them. You'll break lugs and warp rotors too. Yay. So
yeah, these are aluminum lug studs.
Yeah, aluminum lug studs. So, but we'll look at the other side where we got it up in the air. We're gonna follow up with the torque wrench on the lug nuts. Those are called quick jacks. Go to quickjack.com. They retail a ballpark $1,600-1,800 or so. Every holiday they have some kind of sale, like 10% off or something. I don't know, but quickjack.com. I don't know, Hondas are pretty good. I wouldn't really call them poorly made cars, but to each his own, you know. This thing, how many miles does this car have?
277.
277,000 miles on this car. So that's a lot, folks. You're not going to get that out of a new car, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, the new cars are not built well.
So 03 Honda Pilot, 277,000 miles.
You're kind of the beta tester for the companies on these brand new cars.
Yeah.
these, okay, so we may actually have to
Get the hammer.
use drop the hammer kind of things.
Oh, here's the hammer.
Yeah, these are stuck. Well, that other side was loose, but these are definitely not. Thank you. You want to show that in the video?
Sure.
Okay.
So the key with Hondas is you replace the timing belt every 100,000 or so.
Wait a minute. There's a. Where are you? Which way does this go? Do you know how to change this?
I doubt you used to tighten, but
It's actually got a right and left on it.
Does it?
Yeah.
oh, huh.
Now let me try that one and see
Sure
what
enough.
happens. Okay, so I gotta go the other way. I was just tightening it. Okay.
You want to do a video or-
Yeah. Wow, those are stuck. You might need that bigger hammer. You got a screwdriver. Just yeah, those are tight. This is kind of, where's our live stream? It's back there. This is kind of the reality of the situation.
You ready?
I'm still trying to figure out what direction this goes. Okay, so if I push in, that's actually got to go the other way. Okay, there we go. So just try, see what happens here. Well, maybe it's got to go the other way. There we go. Okay. Grab the live stream there. So some real life moments here. You probably need one of these because Honda, something stupid Honda does, I call it stupid. So they put these screws on to keep the rotor as flush and tight as possible. And these screws are notorious for like getting stuck, especially up north in the rusty parts, rust belt. These things really suck sometimes. And this one, you can see someone's been screwing around with it. Those actual the Phillips head part there is kind of jacked up a little bit, so I'm hoping that one comes out. But we're going to shoot a quick part of the video to show how to use the impact screwdriver. So if you don't have an impact screwdriver, definitely consider getting one.
Three, two, one.
So we're on the passenger side here. We just wanted to shout out that we did in fact need our impact screwdriver. These screws were definitely not loose, and this one actually is kind of messed up a little bit, so I'm hoping this one comes out without a fight. But you just want to set this so that when you hit it, it'll actually unscrew that. And we got the bottom one loose. That bottom one's loose, but we're gonna keep. Woohoo! Hallelujah! That came loose. Okay, because up north, in the Rust Belt, sometimes those heads actually strip. These things become quite the bear, quite the chore. But thankfully, those came out. We just wanted to shout that out because the other side was loose and you didn't have to deal with it. But we're gonna work on finishing this side up, and then we're gonna wrap up the video. How's that live stream doing? Oh man. It's getting hot out, everybody on the live stream. Oh man.
So where's everybody from? If you're just joining us, we're working on an 03 Honda Pilot.
Oh, it's right there. I'm gonna gonna grab some drink real quick.
Putting new brakes actually all the way around. This first video will be front brakes. So we got POWERSTOP brakes. We've got a quick jack. Quick jack's a lifesaver. Has anybody ever used a quick jack or even know what the heck they are? If not, we've got an awesome video on Fresh Vintage Garage. Go there, check it out. Check out our other channels. Fresh Vintage. We go to car shows, Mecum auctions, Barrett Jackson, SEMA, everything in between, car shows, cars and coffees, and how-to videos. And of course we have Fresh Vintage Shorts, which you're watching us on. We got somebody from Baltimore, New Zealand. Nothing wrong with hand screw jacks. They're just kind of a pain and you got to use jack stands. Quick jacks all in one. You don't even have to use jack stands. So, let's see. Again, 03 Honda Pilot. California, it's early for you. What, 8 o'clock? Let's see, we've got Baltimore, New Zealand, California, UK,
Oh, nice. Appreciate everybody watching.
Florida. We're worldwide.
That's the cool thing about YouTube is it's a rare platform where you can bring so many people together on a global basis. It's really, really cool. We need our rotor. Let me grab our tray here and our brake parts cleaner and all that good stuff. Drip tray. I don't think we called out the drip tray in the video. Oh well.
Yeah, we use a drip tray to
I'll fall and kill myself.
keep the brake cleaner from eating up my asphalt.
You should tell a story about how the truck caught on fire in your driveway.
Oh yeah.
Show them the ground.
Yeah, person who sealed my driveway, they had some combobulated truck that had different engine, and I can't even tell you what was wrong with that thing. But it caught fire in my driveway.
It's the truck that a lot of people use, and
So,
there we go. It's the truck a lot of people use.
3 a.m. Sunday morning. Whoa.
Is
This
that the gentleman in New Zealand?
must be, yeah.
Yeah.
You need to get to bed, Isaac. Not until you like and subscribe to us. So.
Like and subscribe and then go to bed, please.
So check us out. We've also got social media, Instagram, Facebook.
We tried X, but I gave up. It's there, but I guess people on X don't like cars or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we're putting POWERSTOP rotors on and pads. For the money, these things are the bomb.
Yeah, if you've never seen them before, really solid, very thick. I mean, they're not sports car brakes, but for this, they're probably overkill for this Pilot. But if you want next level braking performance for your ride,
And
you
for
would never.
for the price, it's really not bad because you can
really
go to Advance or AutoZone or whatever and buy their house brand everything, and the price will be right in line with what you buy a whole set POWERSTOPs for. So
You got to think about that. POWERSTOP's paying someone to machine these, so they're not only is it a rotor, a stock rotor, but they're paying to have all this machining done. So you're getting a lot of value for your money.
I could be wrong, but looks like somebody from Russia or
Yeah. Hello, Team Russia.
some different writing. See the bottom one?
Yeah, Ukraine or
Yeah.
Russia.
Thanks for coming out, guys. We're hitting an hour and a half, so we need to
It's amazing the phone is still.
step it up. So
Yeah, we actually, we're like, we gotta be done by noon because it's gonna be hot. What do we gotta do next? Put the recall back on.
Thanks, Isaac. Be safe. Make sure you check out our other channels. We do fun stuff.
Ooh, that one's stuck.
SEMA.
That one's loose. Look how, that one's pretty good, but this one, that is not happy. So we're gonna have to do a little investigation on that one.
Santa high back.
What's that? Someone, see someone from Toronto?
What are you gonna do about that slide?
Where's the front plate screwdriver?
I left it over there.
Get it over here. Oh, here it is. It's right here. This slider is a little stuck. And this, if there's something that'll cause you to, this thing's stuck in here. Look at this thing. Look how stuck this is. Ah, man. I'm trying to get it out of there, but wow, that one's not happy. And we don't have any pliers out here either, so hang tight. We're gonna grab some pliers. Don't go anywhere. We'll grab some pliers. We'll be right back. That's not coming out without pliers.
Alright. Well, if you didn't know, we're in Virginia. Yeah, exactly, Alec. The cross-drilled and slotted help with heat dissipation.
We could use some heat dissipation right about now.
Quick jacks are worth it. I don't know, they're around 1800, 1800. If during most holidays they have like a 10% off sale or something. They have some kind of deal if you're interested. Go to quickjack.com, check them out. Yeah, these pins have to move freely, so we're lubing them up pretty good. Yeah.
We should probably show that video too.
Did you get new ones? Or?
I bought new ones. I want to see what this does when I slide this back in here though. Because if I don't need to use those.
I don't know, that's not looking promising.
There we go. That's a lot better. There we go.
Alright, let me put you down and get this on video.
Oops, that's a little overkill on the grease or the NICs. If you do brake jobs and you don't have some of the NICs, definitely get yourself some.
A little constructive criticism because we have a lot of videos.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I cut into one, you say so when we're
just go right into it.
Yeah, because when you're watching the video, you say it like
10,000 times.
So
I won't say so anymore. I'll come up with a new word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in their eyes, it hadn't been 5 minutes.
So. That one's great. That's amazing how different that was.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
3, 2, 1.
Taking a look at this, we just wanted to shout it out in the video. This guy, pretty chill and happy. This one, I just pulled it out of here, and it was super rusty. You can see how much smoother it's going in and out now, but that thing, I had to yank on it with a pair of pliers to get it out of there, and it was rust city. So we cleaned it up a little bit and threw some grease on it, and now it seems to be very happy. And you have to think, if that's not freely moving, you might want to replace these pins simply because your caliper needs to properly float as you press the brake pedal. It needs to be able to move. Otherwise, your brakes will start wearing crooked, or worse off, if your piston and these start freezing up, your brakes might actually start dragging, and then they'll actually start getting overheated as you're driving down the road. But we're glad to see that is looking pretty happy right now. We're going to keep working on it here for another minute and then get this back together, and we're going to wrap up the video. That's another thing I say a million times. We're gonna wrap up the video.
Like, are they gonna wrap it up or not?
I just keep. That's what I've ever on the live stream. That's what I'm just stringing people along. Stick around. Stick around.
Don't leave.
There's people comment on that too. They're like, as soon as I hear the word "stick around" in the video, I'm gone. Like, you're gonna miss the best part.
Exactly.
We don't put the code for the free product on our website until the very end of the video, so that's good.
Yeah, we check all brake lines and caliper hoses and stuff.
Yeah, if you're not doing that when you're doing this, it's I don't say you're doing yourself a disservice, but I mean the wheel's literally off. You just look for the wet areas if you see any. So
yeah, it's not that hard to see.
And this thing, I was born and raised in northern Pennsylvania, and this is by far, you could eat off of this car. That's how clean it is. There's literally no rust on this thing. By comparison, brake lines and fuel lines literally rusting through from road salt up in northern PA is a thing. So that's a very common. It's kind of ingrained in my head. But if you're not used to doing that, now is a good time to just literally look for wet anything in here. Your leaky strut, you're going to see wet. Brake lines, you're going to see wet. If your boots are ripped on your half shaft, you're going to see grease flying everywhere in here. So that simple stuff, it actually can save you a lot of hassle and expense if you end up going to the garage. You're like, oh yeah, you need like $600-800 worth of work in here.
We're not going to change the brake fluid out. It probably needs done. It's not a bad idea to do it every once in a while.
I wouldn't mind taking this thing to the garage and doing it. And paying someone to do it, or we could just do it ourselves. It's not hard to do. It's just you got to crack each line and slowly bleed the old fluid out.
Yeah, it helps to have a machine.
Yeah, if you had someone with a machine.
So hit that like button. Make sure you go to our other channels. Subscribe on what you're watching now, Fresh Vintage Shorts. We got Fresh Vintage, which this video is going to be on in probably like 6 months. That's how far behind we are with launching. But oh, we're following torque specs. 80 on the caliper bracket, 27 on the caliper bolts, and what is it, 80 on the lugs. Yeah, we got a torque stick, so don't worry. We're not the ooga type.
Yeah, just crank them down and be good, right? What could go wrong?
Too bad there's no such thing as Sears Auto Center anymore.
I always like going to Sears. I mean, obviously it was depending on who was working there, the mechanics they had there, but Sears, I always got cheap tires there. I once got their bargain basement set of cheap tires on a car I had back in like 1998. I paid $187 for 4 mounted and balanced tires. I'm not kidding. I mean, they weren't great tires, but yeah, they did the job. How does it go? They were round, they were made of rubber, and they held air. So they checked all the boxes for me.
Yeah, Costco and Sam's, they have some decent deals. Walmart sometimes.
those Dextero tires I got from Walmart are really, really good. If you had the Jeep here, I would definitely show them in the last one.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say drilled and slotted rotors are useless. I mean, they help dissipate heat. That's the main cause for rotor warpage. We put POWERSTOP on all our vehicles. I haven't had a lick of problems off of these.
To whoever, let's just talk a little tech spec on why this is not an inferior product. As your brakes, you're in a panic situation or you're going down a hill, you're riding those brakes. This surface is getting hot, and by design, these slots here, they literally push heat, they wick heat away from this brake surface. And also, as this is rotating, these holes allow breathing capability through the inside of the rotor. And that's on both sides, so you have a far superior cooling capability simply just by this machining versus stock brakes. So if you are saying these are not good products, I would definitely ask that you do your homework, simply because by design these will last longer, run smoother, run hotter for longer, and actually save you money versus just like stock non-drilled and slotted rotors in the long run.
Yeah, and more surface area to dissipate.
Now don't get too worked up because I just used the impact on those. I'm going to torque them. It's going to be okay.
So the good note on the directional rotors, they do actually say which side to put them on.
Yeah, that's a good shout out. Yeah, don't put your front driver's side on the passenger side.
So that's a good shout out. I mean, that's obvious. You don't want to do that. So he's going to use the torque wrench.
I actually have directional snow tires on this thing too. Not that you need snow tires in the middle of summer, but we're just running these tires down before we buy new tires. So.
We don't bother resurfacing rotors. I mean, these rotors will last a long time, and I mean, for as much as they cost, it's worth putting on new ones. Even at $20 to resurface rotors, or at the minimum.
You know, it used to be a thing back in the day. I say back in the
day. I mean,
like
people still do it, but I don't. If you're trying to cheap out, which I don't agree with, cheaping out on brakes. I mean, they're kind of important, you know.
Yeah, if you're trying to save, you gotta imagine a shop's gonna charge you at least $10 a rotor minimum, and most of them charge more than that.
And if you're gonna go through the hassle of taking them off your vehicle, you might as well put new ones on.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, I've gotten some rotors back. People trimmed them up, and then a day or two later, after you hammer the brakes once or twice in an emergency situation, they're warped again because you literally removed metal to get them straight, so there's less metal to actually help stop. So the metal there is working harder and getting hotter, so you're actually more prone to warping them.
Yep.
So honestly, you're almost shooting yourself in the foot. I know you guys tuned into our live stream for our personal commentary and opinions. So.
Yeah. So we're taking our time. We're also doing a video on how-to video, so it takes a little bit longer. It's not your normal 15-minute pad slap.
I did a pad slap on the back about 2 weeks ago. We missed it. We just missed it because I was like, we should probably do these. And then this is my wife's car. She's like, yeah, the back sounds like it's grinding. And I'm like, all right, well, let me take them apart. And sure enough, the back pads, the driver's side rear pads are actually down to the metal, and that's what was grinding. So I'm like, all right, well, I just bought the cheapest set of pads I could put on there, and I did a pad slap. I actually did that in like under 45 minutes, both sides. I was pretty happy about that.
So yeah, full carbon ceramic pads are expensive. These are ceramic carbon fiber, so they have a little bit of carbon fiber in them.
Yeah, they're carbon
but
fiber.
They're mostly ceramic, so.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's hot out.
So where's everybody from and what do you drive? Let's go that route. All right, let's get this thing wrapped up. It's about noon.
Yeah. I'm amazed that it's already noon. The back should go fairly quick though. Where's everybody? Where's everybody from? We appreciate you watching. Just gotta push the, what do you call that? Take the wheel out. Blah, blah, blah. The other side's gonna go or the back's gonna go very, the back goes very fast. So if that guy's still watching from, the gentleman's still watching from New Zealand, kind of curious, like what's the world like down there for cars? Because I've seen and read some stories about the cars down there, but I'm not sure what all you guys have. I'm guessing there's some imports from Ford and GM and stuff, and you probably have some imports from Australia. Australia has some cool cars. I mean, they basically have like a modern day Chevy El Camino that we in the U.S. never got our hands on.
What, the Ute?
The Ute, yeah. I've never personally seen one in the U.S. It'd be amazing if we did, but I'm surprised nobody imports those. That looks pretty solid.
All right, we got some, let's see.
Looks solid.
25 F350. Man, was that like 100 grand or 120?
Oh
Good Lord. Ohio Pilot 21. Northern PA. What part?
yeah, where are you from? Who's the Northern PA guy? Butler, Meadville, Erie? Where are you from?
South California. New Zealand guy's getting a Mercedes shipped to him.
Oh, nice.
SoCal, what's up? So, it's a beautiful but gonna be a hot day here. We're in Virginia, so show you the backyard and the sky. Not a lot of clouds, and yeah, that's my backyard. So I need to mow. It's been too hot, getting a little high, but whatever. You can wait.
Yeah, it's getting too hot to mow right now. Although, if you want to scalp it, you probably won't have to mow until August at this point.
So the coolest car is an '86 Buick Regal T-Type WE2.
Someone have one of those?
It's not a bad car. Pretty rare. Always like the Grand Nationals. We saw was it the GNX that was a barn find with like hardly any miles on it?
So Barrett Jackson last year, we went to Scottsdale, and that show honestly kind of partially ruined all car shows for us. But guy bought a GNX, legit, a real Buick GNX, saw the ads in the 80s. He bought one, drove it 283 or 286 miles, put it in the barn, never drove it again. He ended up passing away. No joke, Barrett Jackson gets a call. They're like, we got a car in the garage. We think it's rare. We don't know what it is. And they open the doors, and it's a 86, 87 Buick GNX with 286 miles on it. It was sitting there for auction with the dust and stuff still on it from the garage.
Yep. The only bad thing is you got to go through and replace all seals and gaskets.
You're literally going to rebuild the car from the ground up.
It's a shame. I mean, it'd be neat to have, but I don't want to. I'd rather have something you can drive.
It's sliding. Okay. Alright. Oh, man. Wheel line. So we torqued both of them, right? On the back?
The 80 foot-pound.
Where's the torque wrench?
I'll put it up.
Oh, thank you.
Go ahead and double check. While he's torquing that, 03 Honda Pilot, doing front brakes right now. Here in a minute we're going to start the rear, do a separate live on that. But a lot of people have been asking about these Quake Jacks. These things are awesome. This one's a 7000 TL. ALI certified, which is a big deal. Go to quickjack.com and check them out. Yeah, do you need to turn the wheel, or did you get the torque wrench in?
I didn't get the top one, so I just hit it with the impact again. But the bottom ones, they're both at 80 plus foot-pounds now. So.
Okay.
All right, get the wheel on. It is hot out. And we gotta go work over in the sun. We're gonna melt. Now, for all you northerners there, you need some snow tires. I don't know who that person is from northern PA, but they probably know what a Blizzak snow tire is. And it's kind of stupid that we're driving snow tires in the summer, because these things wear out quick, but they're starting to dry rot, so we're just burning the miles off of them. While they still hold air, we're gonna buy some Michelins or Coopers or something come fall. I did get two 3575 R15s from Walmart. I got a Jeep Cherokee. And those are only $72 each, and they're made in the U.S. I was very impressed. $400, under $400 out the door for four snow tire, or 4 American-made tires. Is the torque stick over there? Oh, here it is. Here, sorry. We'll get video of us when we hitting the lug nuts, and then we can wrap up the video. Talk about the. Whoops, that's not the right one.
Take the torque wrench.
What's that?
Take the torque wrench and check the lug nuts just to.
I can't do it while it's up in the air.
Oh yeah, we're gonna put it on the ground.
Drop it on the ground, yeah. Alright, I'll wrap up the video here. Sockets, microphone, okay.
I want to show the quick jack.
Throw this out.
Why don't I do the other side? Like I'll be here and you be up front.
That's fine, yeah. Then you can kind of walk backwards and show the quick jack. And then we'll just send the video back there.
Talk about like 4 jacks and whatever.
We'll start here. Just say wheels on, everything went well. Just watch those screws like we talked about with the impact hammer. But everything went back together well.
And talk about the procedure. Break-in.
Oh, the break-in procedure, yeah.
And I can put that on the screen.
Do you still have that?
Well, it's just a screen.
Okay.
Just say,
Just grab the box and mention it.
yeah. That's the fun part, is the break-in. set the brakes and break in the rotors and pads.
All right. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
So wrapping up the video, overall went really well on this side. Just watch for those screws on the actual rotors. They were definitely stuck. We needed that impact screwdriver. If you don't have one, we'll put a link to one in the description of the video. Also, those sliders, make sure you look at those sliders. If they're not moving easily, then you want to pull them out. Ours was rusty. Thankfully, we were able to clean it up and get it, moving again. So good news there. But overall, for 80 foot-pounds on the lug nuts, everything went back together well. One other thing before we go, don't throw this box out thinking you're done. You need to set these brakes and basically heat treat them. And you look at the box when you install these. You're going to do 40 to 10, 35 to 5, and then let them cool for 5 minutes. So make sure you read this. Don't throw the box out because you're not done yet. You want to make sure you properly get these things heat treated and set. But with that, now that you got your brakes installed, you too can be a certified fresh vintage mechanic. And before we go, we wanted to show you the quick check here. Definitely check this out on our channel, Fresh Vintage Garage. This thing is ALI certified. It's not over here. The actual ALI certification's on the other side, but really, really solid unit. Check it out on Fresh Vintage Garage. Plenty of room underneath here. Really, really solid unit. With that, if you like classic cars, if you like muscle cars, if you like keeping your cars fixed up, certified fresh, Fresh Vintage your channel, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. I probably should have mentioned the rear brakes. All right, everybody. Appreciate you watching. We're going to roll out here. Someone said they're from northern PA. A whole bunch of people going to... Folks, we're going to jump, but we appreciate you watching. We're going to work on the back brakes next. So join us as we basically jump right into the back brakes on the next live stream.